Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome to Edmonton. So here we are, getting ready to get going.
Ground to cocktail.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Crystal clear, 5 out of 5.
Okay, Captain. Radio check, please. We'll contact you once the ground vehicles arrive, and we're ready to start loading.
Roger!
Alright, so we're going to go ahead here, and we're going to try to get everything running. So we're going to request catering, and we'll get WestJet going. So, should be all set for our flight from Edmonton back to Fort McKay. We're going to be flying at about 33,000 feet. I am going to call the ground crew, get the APU going, because I'm trying to keep this a little bit short.
Go ahead.
We're starting the APU now. Stand by for ground power disconnection in a few minutes.
Trying to update a few things here. What is the shadow going over my head? Oh, maybe it's just the catering or something. Alright, gonna get that done. Let's get our APU handled. So we'll get that turned on. So, welcome to A Pilot's Life. And let me just pop over and make sure. I think, yeah, we should be good here. If flight disconnected, it knows it's in pre-flight, so we're good there. I think since it's a short flight, we're just going to need this stuff. Alright, and then we'll get everything set and ready to go. 35,000, I think, is where we're set. It might be 33. No, I don't recall. Well, we'll worry about it in a bit here. APU is still not on. Alright, so we're going to finish. Gonna finish things there, and sorry for the blinking screens. Alright, so it should hopefully pick things up shortly. All we've got on this flight is a drink service.
10.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Just a quick update to let you know that we started loading. We'll contact you again once we're done.
Roger!
Alright, so we've got the APU. It should be running now. Let me get my strobe on. Shouldn't need anything else. I think that's the strobe, because that's the thing. I keep getting the beacon light isn't on or whatever. I don't know which one, because nothing's labeled beacon within the 737. Alright, so let me go, because I'm assuming the problem here is now I don't have, because now I want to request refueling. I'm assuming, alright, yeah, these guys are just about done.
Ground to cocktail.
Alright, let's see.
Go ahead.
Hi, Hi there. You're now refueling the aircraft, and we'll let you know once it's completed.
Roger.
All right.
Cockpit to ground.
So we should be able to disconnect ground power.
Go ahead.
Please disconnect ground power.
Roger.
Okay, I need to board the cabin crew.
Ground power has been disconnected.
Roger.
Ground to cockpit.
Alright, still don't have, there we go, there comes the,
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Fueling has been completed.
Roger.
Please don't load fuel yet, but GSX thinks fuel has been loaded. So that's always great. Okay, so we're going to go ground services, and then we're going to remove the chocks.
Ground to cockpit.
Alright,
Go ahead.
Hi there. You're now refueling the aircraft, and we'll let you know once it's completed.
so first
Roger.
it said it was done, then it didn't, but anyway, alright, let's get ourselves loaded up here. So we're requesting the flight plan. There we go. We're going to select the route, because last time I didn't use GSX for stuff. The problem is I can't get the cabin crew here. So let's see.
Ground to cockpit.
Alright.
Go ahead.
I'm worried we're going to have a problem.
Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that the aircraft is now fueled as requested.
Roger.
Alright, so we've got that. Alright, so now I have that, and now I can request boarding. Activate. So now, hopefully, there we go. And so once the doors open and all that, then we should be, whoops. Okay, door movement standby. Alright, so now we should have crew and all that shortly. Alright, so we want performance. We want to get the performance items. So I do not want ground power. Alright, we're not going to attach the pushback tug. Okay, so we're going to load. I'm still worried this is going to somehow get messed up here. Alright, where are the crew? Alright, cabin crew are managing doors. Okay, so let's see.
Hello?
Alright,
Hi there, I'm very well, thanks.
Great. We're just getting ready for departure, but if you need anything else, just give me a call.
Thanks.
No problem.
Hello?
Alright,
Yes, you can start boarding.
It's a little messed up here, but okay. So we've got them. Let me turn on the seat belts. And then I need, let me call in here.
All stations, prepare to start boarding.
Okay, let's see. Alright. Edmonton clearance, Arctic 1720, requesting IFR to Fort McKay.
Working on that clearance. Stand by.
Arctic 1720, stand by. Alright, so that is going. We're going to go to the N1 limit. Take off, flaps 5.
Arctic 1720. Information echo is current. Cleared to Fort McKay. Horizon. After departure, fly radar vectors to LISPA, then as filed. Departure runway 30. Initial climb to 6,000. Departure on 120.5 squawk 1761.
Cleared to Fort McKay. After departure, fly vectors to LISPA, then as filed. Departure runway 30. Initial climb to 6,000. Departure on 120.5 squawk 1761. Arctic 1720. Alright. That should be good, so we know we're leaving
Arctic
on
1720,
30.
read that correct. Ground will be on 121.7.
Alright, I didn't load things into Navigraph, so let me fix that. Alright, so ground's actually 121.7. Let's see. Select the departure.
Roger. United 1092.
Don't actually need
United
a departure.
1092. Edmonton clearance, roger. Contact ground for further instructions.
Roger. United 1092. Roger. United 1092.
Alright. So, should be all set there. Get ourselves set. Alright, so we're not doing the MEPOT departure. And then we are arriving on 3-5. And we will be doing RNAV from Seekick. And that should get us what we need. So there's LISPA, as we would expect. Alright. And then, not sure if we're fully on board yet or not. Alright. So, let me do the PA system and do the welcome aboard and get all our
Good morning
info.
from the cockpit. This is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you on board Arctic Flight 51720 from Edmonton to Fort McKay. We're currently preparing for departure up here in the cockpit, and once we're airborne, we'll be climbing to our cruise level of 33,000 feet. We're not anticipating any delays, so we hope to be underway very shortly. The cabin crew will start securing the cabin once the aircraft is pushed back from the stand. As we make our way to the departure runway, please make sure you're seated and secured as they make their way around the aircraft. Once we're airborne, there shouldn't be any issue during our climb. It's a pretty straightforward departure out of the airport, so nothing to worry about there. It looks as though the en route winds are in our favor, so there shouldn't be any issue getting to our destination on time. However, we will keep you informed throughout the flight if that changes. If you could get yourself seated and secured in the meantime, we'll be able to make a departure as soon as everything is ready. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the flight.
Welcome aboard this Walker Air Transport Service.
All right.
Please ensure to place your bags either in the overhead compartment or in the seat in front of you.
How is loading going? Alright. So strangely, it thinks we're not set. Now, hopefully we won't have a pushback problem. See, now it still thinks we need to do something with refueling. So I don't understand. So it looks like we're going to have the same kind of problem. Which is why this drives me a little bit crazy. Because yes, it thinks it's setting planned fuel and it just won't do it. So let's restart Quaddle here. Alright, so we need to be at 6,000.
Good evening, Edmonton clearance, Air Canada 251, ready to pick up our IFR clearance to Vancouver, and we got Romeo.
Alright, we'll turn our flight directors on, auto throttle on.
Fleet to Vancouver is filed after departure, fly radar vectors to Andy, then is filed, departure runway 12, initial climb 5,000, departure on 3365,
Need to get
and walking 6467, Air Canada 251.
1761. Get ourselves turned on here. Alright, and then 121.7. So we're going to get ourselves switched over there. Alright, so now is GSX running? Alright, we're going to have WestJet going. Alright, so hopefully everything will run here. Alright, so we're waiting for the load sheet. We'll have cabin crew managing for doors. Everybody's loaded. So I think we're all set.
Go ahead.
Loading has been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now.
Alright, and we'll get our flaps down where we need. Alright, Roger.
Roger!
For the load sheet.
Ground to cockpit.
Goodness gracious.
Go ahead.
Alright. Need to get to my intercom. Come on, guys.
As a reminder, for your software, to track the virtual airline flights, you might want to start it now. You have it already.
Okay, that's the
We're ready to
normal.
disconnect.
Thanks very much. Pin straight ahead and we'll see you again soon.
Alright. So, let's see. Intercom.
Hello.
Alright, they're not.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, looks like we're all set to go whenever you're ready.
It's doing them kind of messed up. Alright. Alright.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Alright, so we want to push back
automatic and cross-check.
to right. Alright, so now I need to pop over here, go to the actions, ground services, remove the chocks, and then we release our parking brakes. We'll get our, well, we don't want our taxi lights just yet. Oh. Okay, whoops. We want to get our engines going.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this Walker Air Transport.
Alright, well I can tell we're moving.
Please ask your attention as we demonstrate the safety features on this aircraft. Please make sure your bags are either in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. It's important to fasten your seatbelt, even when the sign is off, in case we pass through unexpected...
Edmonton ground. Arctic 1720 pushing back.
Landing, please fasten your seatbelt and make sure your seat is in the upright position. In case
Arctic 1720, Edmonton ground. Pushback approved. Face north.
Please wear yours first before helping children.
Pushback approved, face north, Arctic 1720. So we're a little off there, but that's okay.
Proceed to holding point Bravo 1 via taxiway. Alpha caution, wake turbulence.
At this moment,
Proceeding to holding point Bravo 1 via Alpha caution, wake turbulence, King Air 145 Kilo Alpha.
Okay.
Borealis 1000 negative, taxi to Central Dicing via Alpha Delta, Alpha.
So need to get this
Request
up.
taxi to runway 02.
Flaps are at 5.
Taxi to
Everything's
02 via
set.
Papa Alpha, Borealis 1000.
Alright. So we've got that. Let's go to legs. Should be good. Alright, so they're getting us out, hopefully to the line here. Alright, and then how much fuel? Set 12.5. Alright, that seems reasonable. Looks like the first engine is on. Let's get second engine moving. Alright. And yeah, given the crazy weather we had last time, it's February 1st is when I'm flying this. I don't want to be dealing with the freezing weather and whatever right now. I'm just trying to get everything moving appropriately. So, alright, let's see. So hopefully, because this is a little bit bigger airport than Fort McKay, the crew will be able to do what they need to do. But we'll see. Alright, did I flip it up? Yes, okay. So we can go up here. We get ourselves off of the APU. Turn that off. Get our pack set to normal. Turn that on. And we should be okay for now. I'm assuming they're waiting for good engine start, so let's get them that info. Alright, so they're going to get us disconnected. We've got 113 souls on board. We are off. You know, we've got 4 minutes on our block time. Just taking a quick peek at the rest here. Well, it's showing me pre-flight, but...
Edmonton ground, Aero Taxi 101, request taxi to parking.
Aero Taxi 101, Edmonton ground, taxi to parking via Alpha 1, Alpha Oscar.
Okay.
Taxi to parking via Alpha 1, Alpha Oscar.
Well, there goes the plane.
Aero Taxi 101.
Alright. Edmonton ground, request taxi to runway.
Hello?
Arctic
Okay.
1720,
So,
taxi to runway
You
30
can take your
at your
seats now.
discretion.
We're almost ready.
No problem.
Alright, so I assume they secured the cabin, I hope.
All
It's not
stations
giving
take
me
off
the
positions,
credit.
please.
Alright, yes, alright. So I think we're good. Taxi to runway 30 at your own discretion. That doesn't help me any. Alright, let me just look here. Okay, cruise altitude.
Oscar hold short of runway 31 right traffic on
Cruise
final approach.
altitude looks like it's 330.
Runway 31 right, tornado 892, Tango Oscar.
So I do want to fix that in my flight details there. So that should work. Alright, so I need to get a map here of the airport because I don't know where 30 is. Alright, there it is. So it's kind of behind us, but that's okay. Alright. So let me get my taxi lights on because I think that's something I didn't do and got dinged for before. And we will now get our engines up a bit here. Alright, are we moving or are we not moving? Ay, ay, ay. What is happening? Alright, we got brakes on. Alright. What is happening and why does it think I can't move? I gotta love this. Am I stuck in a divot? Sometimes that happens. No, okay, it didn't. It's not releasing my parking brake. There we go. Alright, now I'm probably moving really fast. Oh, no, I'm not. Alright. So it's not too crazy, but yeah, it didn't think my parking brake was off. Which seems odd, but okay. Alright, let me just lower myself down a bit here. Should be able to head out here to the apron. I'm not quite sure why. Yeah, that's a parking. That's not what I want. Alright. Okay, we've got a way out over there, so we'll do that. I don't know. I mean, it's Edmonton. It's possible that this would be the normal thing, that they'd just be like, yeah, go do your own thing. It just, obviously, if I'm unfamiliar with the airport, makes it a little more challenging, and we don't get the nice little arrows that Say Intentions would normally provide us. So, alright, we're gonna head down here to the taxiway. So, luckily we didn't have anything parked, but I'm also not running any traffic stuff right now. Just trying to keep things simple, because I want to just make sure things work. You know, my intent is to do these a bit more frequently than I certainly had been. You know, obviously this one's coming on pretty quickly after the last one I did, where we came back to Calgary.
Hawker 511 Hotel
But
Alpha,
basically
proceed to holding
our...
point Bravo 2 via taxiway Charlie.
Proceeding to holding point Bravo 2 via Charlie Hawker 511 Hotel Alpha.
But basically our contract is still, we've got eight flights counting this one, so we get 10 flights for a contract. At least that's what happened the first time. I assume that's probably pretty normal. And again, to be able to kind of use real weather and do things, it would seem to make a little bit of sense that maybe we don't fly up in Canada, or if we do, we you know, do it in the summer. I don't know, but obviously we got to work year round. And it wasn't that the weather or the winter was terrible. I mean, I've certainly in Flight Sim 2024 flown a couple flights where the storms were crazy and so forth, and survived. So, all right, we've got a ways to go to get down here to the runway. So I'm hoping the flight will be relatively straightforward. I think it's 254 nautical miles, and we're going relatively straight. So it's probably as close to direct as you could get. Alright, so we're going through here. We're going to be passing cargo terminal over there. Also, hadn't turned on my head tracking. I was going to do that at one point, but I'm not sure that I've determined that it works really well for flight. For those who are watching and do follow along regularly, I am running this. This is my first flight episode after that tragic air crash we had near Reagan International with a Black Hawk helicopter and Blue Streak American operated flight. Whoops. I think this is going to get me in trouble because I think we're not allowed to go over 20, so I'm probably going to get dinged a bit on a couple fronts. So yeah, just not great. You know, as flight simmers, I think we certainly feel a little part and kinship with the aviation community, because we certainly understand maybe a little bit more than the general layperson of what was going on and what happened, and it does just seem like the helicopter pilot may have been looking at the wrong plane when they said they were, they had the plane in sight, and then unfortunately ran in, and we had that crash when they ran into the Blue Streak aircraft coming in on approach on runway 33. So, and then there was a small plane crash the next couple days in Philadelphia, where I think 6 people on a Learjet. Hadn't heard yet if there were any survivors from that, but I don't think so. Certainly looked like a lot of fire on the ground and so forth, so I'm guessing that didn't go well. Alright, so we finally made it here. But yeah, I don't know that I've got much more to say. I'm certainly, again, not a real-life aviator, so I'm kind of taking in the information. But like I said, being a VAT sim controller and all that, just feeling I at least have a little bit more understanding. I certainly could follow the ATC.
1720, contact tower on 118.3, so long.
Oops, let me, didn't see that. Contact tower on 118.3, Arctic 1720. Have a good day. Alright, so we're going to turn off the taxi. We're going to get our landing lights set. We're set to 33,000. Let me just double check that all of this is correct. It is. Alright, 33. We're all good. Can I turn on LNAV now? Not yet. Alright. Alright, I need to contact tower. I was just getting ready to go. I kind of forget. I don't know. I'm still getting used to flying with everything because it's just so hard to get it to work. Edmonton Tower, Arctic 1720. Ready for takeoff, runway 30. I did that. I should leave my call sign at the end. Is it not hearing me? I don't understand. Edmonton Tower, Arctic 1720, runway 30, ready for takeoff. I think I pressed the button that I use for Tower Simulator, which is different than this
Arctic
one.
1720, Edmonton Tower, runway 30, winds 325 at 10, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 30, cleared for takeoff, Arctic 1720. Alright, so now we are all set. So we're going to get ourselves moving here. And hopefully nothing too crazy, but sometimes there's just far too many airports. I find myself stuck when I stop here at the hold point. So it's kind of nuts that that happens, but okay, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. But yes, we've got our landing lights. The one thing I didn't set was my my QNH, so let me see. Or my, I guess we're not at QNH here, we're using the regular barometer. Alright, turning a little sharp, which is fine, that's what we want. Alright, so we're gonna get ourselves stopped here, just get everything done, because it's 2964, so it's not a nothing setting, so I definitely want to get that appropriate or we're going to have problems. So 2964, there we go. We'll get this set. Now I should be able to go LNAV, right? No, it's just not going to do it. And sometimes it won't until we've engaged, but we've got, do I have the flight director on? Now a little
Bonanza
confused.
64 Foxtrot Alpha 2, hold short of runway 27, awaiting further instructions.
Because I'll tell you,
Holding
that's...
short of runway 27, Bonanza 64 Foxtrot Alpha 2.
It's not looking right. I'm just feeling something's off, so let me just...
Departure,
Alright, why are
WestJet
we
738.
rolling? Okay. Flight director's on. Both flight directors are on. Everything's right, but this does not appear the way I would think. I'm hoping I'm not going to have some... Oh, you know what? I wonder if I need to go direct. I probably do, so let's see. So let's execute that. That didn't help. Just making sure my other settings aren't off somewhere. They don't appear to be. No, I have the... Never mind. I got the flight director there. Just not seeing... And maybe it's because the LNAV's not working. But anyway. Alright. We're cleared for takeoff. So we are going to start our roll. And we're going to get up in the air. And get moving. Alright, you can see 125 is V1. We've got to get up a little faster than that to take
100
off.
KTs.
Alright, so should be good. Pull back, come on. Trying to be gentle here. But the plane is giving me some fun, I'll tell you that. Alright.
Positive rate. Gear up.
So we'll get gear up. And then, there we go. Now we're on heading select, which I don't want. Alright, and then we will get autopilot engaged and try to not push the wrong buttons. Alright. Contact departure, Arctic 1720. Edmonton departure, Arctic 1720.
Arctic 1720, Edmonton departure, radar contact, cleared direct Lasva, climb flight level 220.
Climb flight level 220, Arctic 1720. Alright, so they're obviously partially clearing us. They're not getting us to cruise altitude just yet, which is, you know, not abnormal. Alright, we're going to get our flaps up here. So, the last flight I realized I hit... I'm going to take a look if I can see what this says. I hit the button down below when I was having the problems that I had. So that's CWS. I don't know what that is. Again, not being an actual pilot, but that's something to learn. So at one point, as I was over here, I think I was trying to do the V-speed, and I mistakenly did click that and caused myself all kinds of trouble. And I thought it was something to do with, oh, I'm flying in the cold, I'm doing whatever. No, let me do the PA, ladies and gentlemen.
American 1555, contact approach 125.8.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope you're enjoying the flight so far.
American 1555.
We're currently climbing up to our cruising altitude of 33000 feet, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. We're expecting to arrive on time as planned. Progress is going very well. You'll next hear from me just before we start our descent. I'll be sure to keep you updated if anything changes, but in the meantime, please feel free to relax and take advantage of our onboard facilities.
Okay. So now I can turn off the landing lights.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you are now free to move around the
Arctic
cabin.
1720, climb flight level 280.
Pass through unexpected turbulence. Toilets
Climb
are
flight level
located in front
280,
and on the
Arctic
bottom of this
1720.
airplane. If you need any assistance, don't hesitate to ask.
Alright, so we'll pop up here. And we'll be all set
Ladies and
with
gentlemen,
that.
the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, so you are now free to move around the cabin. However, for your safety, we do recommend that you remain seated with your belt fastened at all times during the flight. Thank you.
Alright. So, still got a ways to go, but at least we're cleared to a higher flight level. We're ultimately heading to flight level 330. Just passing over Edmonton now. So, there is the city of Edmonton. That's a different airport. That is not the one we took off from. Just so there's no confusion, although I'm not sure that, I think it's an airport. It's hard to tell. Frame rate, let's see. It's still not doing terrifically. So yeah, we've got another airport there. That's clearly an airport. But Fort Saskatchewan is kind of in that direction, so I don't know if that's more that airport or not. Alright, just trying to get myself set. We've got not very far to Msfs.
Arctic 1720, contact Edmonton Center on 134.9er.
Edmonton Center 134.9er, Arctic 1720. Alright. Edmonton Center, Arctic 1720, 16,000. It's on my way to flight level 280.
Arctic 1720, Edmonton Center identified. Good morning, Villeneuve, QNH 29er.9er1.
Okay. So we're getting to transition altitude shortly here. So we will obviously do that shortly, and that'll get us right near 9er1, because that is obviously standard is 9er2. But again, that's the ground level barometer, I believe. So you know, once we hit the transition level, we just want to be up there. Yeah, but this should hopefully be a more reasonable flight, time-wise.
Arctic 1720, Edmonton Center, climb flight level 330.
Flight level 330, Arctic 1720. Alright, so we'll get ourselves set. Alright. I don't know why I have such a hard time with my mouse wheel getting things set right, but we're all good there. So yeah, not great frame rate, but
Bravo Romeo India. Clear direct to Bravo Romeo India, Alaska.
You know, we're moving. You know, ground speed's pretty good. We're heading up typically to 0.78, and you know, we're on the way there, but we're maybe 10-15% along here. So, not expecting much to happen. We might have some drink service. I wish I could figure out why my window is not up for that, because I should be able to see it. No crew issues. Because yeah, it's just it's interesting. That's all I can say, I guess. Because I used to be able to see a window in self-loading cargo, and I probably just need to look at the information. Aha, there it is, cabin management. All right, so drink service is scheduled in 7 minutes. So I guess I'll keep you with me till then, so that we can, you know, get that part of self-loading loading cargo complete. But yeah, the flight should basically be 45 minutes. So, you know, that's not a flight you'd have a meal on. I mean, yeah, you'll get a quick drink service. That'll be it. Obviously, no movie. That would be a problem. But yeah, we've got everyone's seated in theory. Why did self-loading cargo change to cruise? Or maybe it's just because we're like at a certain point, but now suddenly it's like it's saying that I've already done the PA that cruise was reached, but we said it was 330, and I remember that was what it was reporting. But yeah, we're just flying direct here for the most part. I mean, 12 miles to Gunnock, and then we'll take another little bit of a bearing change to the right. You can see our top of climb about 30 nautical miles away. So, but yeah, without weather, it's just clear skies, so it's pretty simple. So my intent is kind of once we get up there, let you go for a little bit, because there's not going to be anything really happening. And once again, as I do more and going forward, I'll try to get a few more things happening. I mean, certainly having traffic would help with more calls up here and so forth. Right now, because in 2024 I was trying to keep things simple. I've just recently gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to keep waiting on flight sim videos, because clearly it's going to take a while for, say, the PMDG that I'm flying to be available in 2024. I know people have tried to use it. I think, you know, sometimes they've been successful, but I've heard it's pretty ugly. So I definitely don't want to create situations where it's just not a fun experience in the episode and so forth if we're just, you know, fighting things. So, but yeah, if I'm looking at the map from A Pilot's Life that is kind of a live flight, you know, these turns are so gradual, it honestly almost looks like a straight line out of Edmonton, other than, you know, obviously our initial takeoff at 330 was obviously you know, about 70 degrees from where we're going now. But, all right, but yeah, we're on 08. Maybe we'll get to 0110, but no, it looks like we're just going to head on 08, and now we've got 46 miles till our next waypoint at Pepsa. All right, down to 4 minutes. At about 2 minutes, the crew should make the announcement that they're getting ready for drink service and so forth. And, you know, then obviously they'll start that up, and that is going to be the point that I will let you go. So you should be seeing, hopefully I remembered to do the overlay, and hopefully it's working correctly. So you should see all the information on the top of the screen. That's why I'm not really giving you anything. But obviously the things you don't see, which I'm not Canadian, I don't know the Canadian geography very well, but on the map in A Pilot's Life, we're coming up on Athabasca in a little bit, probably about the top of climb location is when we'll get there. We obviously haven't been passed on to any other controllers. You know, it's a uneventful flight, which is what you want. You know, because obviously, as we've unfortunately learned with the tragedy, sometimes other situations are significantly worse. That's certainly not what anybody wants to see. So, yeah, it's always challenging. You know, it'll be curious once all the NTSB does all the work and gets things together, which usually takes months, if not years.
Know, we will be starting our in-flight drink service in a few moments. If you could please clear all aisles and ensure that any bags are placed in the overhead lockers, it would be most appreciated. Thank you.
All right, so what'll happen, and some of that may happen before I come back on, I've got to let the cabin or the passengers and the crew know, hey, we're going to descend in X number of minutes. You know, that'll start coming up, you know, now that we're just about here. Yeah, see, now it's zoomed out even further on my map, so it's kind of an interactive map, but I can see a bar, but unlike the feedback you're getting with the percent, I don't have that in front of me. but I would say we're 30-35% of the way there. We're down to a minute for drink service, so just about the time. But there may be a few calls with self-loading cargo and so forth. And as I always say, I mean, if people want full flights, let me know. You know, it's not really difficult for me to leave the material in. I mean, usually I leave the recording on and OBS is still running. It's just, you know, then I'm obviously less concerned about what I'm doing, saying this and that. You know, frankly, I'm going to eat breakfast in between during the quiet time. So, you know, there'd be a lot of noises of things like, you know, clinking of spoons and bowls, and, well, a bowl. I don't eat that much breakfast. But, anyway. But if people are like, yeah, I just want to stare out the window with you and you know, not do a lot, because that's the thing, unless I've got calls. I am surprised, but I'm guessing the airspace is so less congested here that
Frontier 887, report altitude passing.
that you just don't need.
Frontier 887, passing through flight level 260.
Did I turn off my landing
WestJet
lights? Yes.
738,
Okay.
Edmonton Center identified. Good morning.
But you don't
Good
need
morning.
to pass off to a lot of controllers. I'm just used to some areas when I fly
WestJet X75, climbing to flight level 340. Good evening.
that you're passed to a controller like every 2 or 3 minutes. You know, you're given to another center controller. Yeah, kind of like watching paint dry. I'm just surprised they haven't called. But it's starting in less than a minute. Because, yeah, we might hit Pepsa before I let you go. We'll see. Oh, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh. She did a terrible job. I'll have to, you know, they'll talk with her. Normally she'd say we're doing whatever, but the service is in progress. So, yeah, that was anticlimactic. We waited for a ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, it's really odd, like, why these add-ons struggle sometimes to just work together seamlessly, but they do. In any event, things are starting, so I am going to go ahead and step away for a bit, and I will come back, and we'll get ourselves down to Fort McKay. So I'll see you in a bit. As you can see, we're on our way down. We're nearly at 220 here. Obviously leaving from 330. I think I overestimated the descent time. I said we'd be landing in 30 minutes, but I think we're going to be down in 15. So my self-loading cargo score won't be great with that, but I just once again forgot to check my position. And it says, and it says 1829. But I believe we're probably crossing some time zone here because we are heading a little bit east. So there may be a time zone situation. I am surprised that it's leveling me out here. Alright, crew just finished drink service. So, yeah, I did have accurate descent time info and all that. So, yeah, I'm not sure why it's not having me descend more. So sometimes I do find it just doesn't work well. Edmonton Center, Arctic 1720. Request descent to 4,000.
Arctic 1720, descend 4,000.
Descend 4,000, Arctic 1720. Alright. Because, yeah, the airport's just below 1,000, so that should get me kind of where I need to be. So let's see, where are we at? Just things don't, yeah, I need to get down to 28. I mean, yeah, we've got to get going. So I don't understand sometimes how this works, like why it doesn't sense it. Okay, so now we'll do VNav speed. So we'll get ourselves there, but at Seknik we're supposed to be at 2800, so I'm gonna set myself there. Edmonton Center, request descent to 2,800.
Arctic 1720, descend to altitude 2,800 feet.
2,800 feet, Arctic 1720. Alright, we'll get ourselves set here. Again, what I need to look at, I'm a little behind. What is my... oh, it doesn't tell me anything, so I'm just going to assume that we are 2991, which is where I was before. So we're going to go with that. Yeah, we're going to just barely make it, honestly, it looks like. So yeah, I think I need to slow down quite a bit. So we're going to, because this is a pretty tiny airport, if I remember correctly. So they don't make it easy, which is also why I don't want to be playing this game of, you know, something else going on here that, you know, than what I need.
Report altitude passing. Frontier 887 passing through flight level 260.
Alright, so...
Arctic 1720, contact Edmonton Center on 132.7.
Contact Edmonton Center 132.7, Arctic 1720. I want to get my lights ready. Edmonton Center, Arctic 1720, 14,000 descending to 2,800. Alright, we're going to get our landing lights on.
Arctic 1720, Edmonton Center identified. Good morning, Fort McKay. Horizon QNH 29.901.
So we do have 29.901. Again, we're going to be coming in on 3.5, so that's pretty much straight in north. So we're basically heading at 360. We're going to be at 350, so we'll have a little bit of a turn to the left. But yeah, now it's going to need to slow down is the issue, and then get itself down. So I'm just hoping it can do that. Do I need... it's not telling me drag required. But yeah, we need to get below 250 and then it can try to descend again, but we're obviously cutting miles off. I mean, we've got to be above 2,800. It's not like I can't be much higher, but obviously that's going to create some challenges. So again, we'll do my favorite landing rate monitor. So we're basically 10,000 feet above ground level. Again, once we get to 240, that is what we're trying to get down to here. Alright, and then while I'm thinking about it, let's get our information in here so that we have that, and that should get things to work. Alright, so hopefully it'll start dropping soon again. There we go. 800, 900. And I mean, we are a long way up. I mean, we're only 3 miles from Seknik. I mean, we are, let's see, total, alright, we're 30, okay, it said 45, but it had to update. We're 30 miles from the airport, so in theory we can go down 10,000 feet, but it's going to be a pretty straight descent to get us there, because yeah, the airport is at 916, so obviously that's why we just need 9,000. But yeah, we're a lot higher than I would have expected. But we're gonna obviously rotate over a bit to the right and then swing a bit differently to come back. So but we've got a couple more spots. Again, we've got 15 miles. So yeah, we got to get to Ictor.
Arctic 1720, Edmonton Center. Descend to altitude 2,500, QNH 29.91.
Descend 2,500, Arctic 1720.
Arctic 1720, descend altitude 2,500 feet. Hawaiian.
Descend 2500, Arctic 1720.
Boeing 629er,
told me
Edmonton
this, I
Center,
don't
good
understand.
evening. Negative, request flight level 390, TBM 13 kilo.
Alright, 7,500.
TBM 13 kilo, descend flight level 390.
Arctic 1720, proceed direct Ictor. Cleared for the RNAV runway 35 approach.
Alright. Proceed direct Ictor, cleared for RNAV runway 35. Arctic 1720. Alright, let's get the PA system. Prepare
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
So we will get down there. We are now...
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please make sure your seat is on its upright position.
All right.
And your seatbelt is fastened. Our crew will be soon preparing the
We're going to
cabin
be
for
near
arrival.
the river.
Thank you for your attention.
It might, I think that may be the airport there. But 6,000. So we are slowing our descent for sure. Get a little bit further down here. And again, we were like at 130, so like, or 132, so I think like 138 would be an appropriate speed. Alright, thank goodness, because I'm like, if we don't start going down here, we're going to have a real big problem. Alright, I'm going to put out my gear. That will help a little bit more. And we'll get our flaps down further again. Alright, I don't know, we're 15 miles out. It just does not seem like we're that far, but this is going to be just challenging, I'll tell you that. I am not enjoying this part of the approach. Like, I feel the little bit we slowed down, I think it really screwed us up. I mean, we are still going down. I mean, we're going down at 5 degrees, which isn't crazy, but it's, you know, faster than the normal 3. So we're going to get ourselves... I'm going to dial this down a little bit lower. Because, you know, this needs to start coming up is the issue. I swear when I came in here for the first flight, I had the same problem, where it was just, it took, I had to fly over and then come back in again, which I would prefer not to do. But, alright, so now we're doing that. We're going to get ourselves down all the way to 30. Alright, I should be lining up on the airport
Clear
now.
direct to Delta Alpha November VOR. Clear direct to Delta Alpha November VOR
So
Delta 401.
137 is where it's trying to get. Man, where is the airport? Is it there? I mean, I know it was a pain to see, but my goodness. Alright, the good news is this is coming up, so now at least I feel like we have a shot of getting on the path.
Arctic 1720 Fort McKay. Horizon Airport at your 2 o'clock, 11 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency. So long.
Hello.
Alright, they're not speaking.
You can take your seats now. We're almost ready.
She's basically like,
No
are
problem.
we landing? Are we doing whatever? Alright. So I assume... Alright, so now we're locked in on that and the glide path, which is good. Because then it
Arctic
should bring me in
1720,
appropriate.
contact Fort McKay, Horizon Tower on.
Contact Fort McKay Horizon Tower, Arctic 1720. Fort McKay Tower, Arctic 1720, on approach for runway 35.
Arctic 1720 Edmonton Center identified. Good morning, Fort McKay. Horizon QNH 29.901.
Okay. So that should be the runway. Just feel like I'm not set in the right place, but I am. 137 is what we want. We've got no messages, nothing. Everything's good. 1500 again, above the ground. So again, the airport's just below 1,000 feet. Yeah, now the runway's a little bit clearer. It's not just a, not looking like we're coming into a grass runway, which is a bit of what I was looking. I'm like, what is going on?
Arctic 1720 Edmonton Center, Fort McKay. Horizon Airport at your 2 o'clock, 5 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency. So long.
Change to advisory approved, Arctic 1720. Have a good day. Alright. So basically it's an untowered airport. And, it's like, hey, let us know. Come back, if you have a problem. But other than that, you're on your own. So, that's what they do up here in the Great Wide North. Oh, you can see our shadow down here. That's cool. So, the way the sun's positioned, it's just kind of coming along. Alright. So again, it won't land on its own. So I've got to take over.
Charlie Echo, say altitude.
Currently at 7500 Piper, 623 Charlie Echo.
But, you got birds, whatever else coming up at this point, so it can always get kind of interesting. So probably at about 200 we'll take over. Alright.
200.
Alright, we'll just bring it in.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Come on. Alright. So I think that was pretty good. Vertical speed 240. I would say that's pretty nice. I'm sorry about that. All right. So we have made it to Fort McKay. Now I need to...
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. Please remain seated with your
Cabin crew,
seatbelt
please disarm
fastened
doors and cross-check.
until the aircraft is parked and the fasten seatbelt sign is off. Please be careful while opening
Ladies
the
and
overhead
gentlemen,
compartment.
please remain
as
seated until the
items might
captain turns
fall
off the
during
seatbelt
flight.
sign.
Our staff
Once
will
that
help you
happens, we will
complete your
start
walker
deboarding
journey.
and you'll be
And
able
if
to
you
leave
need
the
any
aircraft.
help, please
Thank
don't
you.
hesitate to ask. In behalf of our crew and
Okay.
all the team, we thank you
Somehow,
so much for
amazingly,
choosing
we
flying with
stayed
Walker
on the
Air
runway. I was
Transport.
really
We hope to see you
expecting
again soon
that I'd
and
have a
wish you peaceful
problem.
stay. Thank you.
Alright, so we'll get our flaps up. We will get our taxi lights on. Alright. And we will get ourselves back. And again, it's an untowered airport, so we've got nobody to call for taxi instructions or anything like that. But, you know, again, I think I didn't do a great job with the timing. Alright, let's speed up a little bit more here. Alright, flaps are... They look like they didn't quite go all the way, so we'll get that set. Get ourselves dialed back here. Whoops. Again, let's not go crazy fast. Alright. Alright, we'll get this out of here. But yeah, it's a tiny airport, but obviously people need to get here. I mean, 113 people are on board. You know, and I assume that gets fed from a pilot's life and so forth. But yeah, it's got me in taxi in. But I think, again, I got a D- on my on my self-loading cargo last time. I'm hoping I did better this time. We shall see. Alright, we definitely are sloughing off some speed here. I didn't realize we were just down to 20% on the engines.
Alaskan 413, expect runway 09er for landing. Expecting runway 09er, Alaskan 413.
Okay. Whoops. Let's not go too much. Now again, it said I could change to advisory, so I'm assuming that's what that is. We'll probably then have less stuff. So let's see. We got to turn in here and just find a place. So, not the biggest parking spot, but that's the problem we had when we took off. Basically, we were right there by the building, and then couldn't get pushback. It was just not good. So that's the piece for stuff like self-loading cargo. It's like, it's a little iffy at places like this where we're not flying between really large locations. But, alright, we're all set. Get the brake. Alright, well, we got a great landing, 1.16 Gs. Alright, okay. So we should be all set.
Hi, Captain.
How are things going?
Alright, we're gonna request... there's no suitable parking, so... Alright.
It should just be a few more minutes.
No problem.
Cabin crew are managing doors. So it's like it's not letting me, you know, it's not letting me park. So, I mean, in theory, it's like, I guess it thinks I'm not anywhere. But we'll get the engines off.
Ground to cockpit.
Alright, so let's get over here.
Go ahead.
Okay, so that's pilot's life that my flight has been submitted.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Microphone check is 5 out of 5.
Roger. Okay, Captain. Ground power is still. Stand by. We'll start getting you offloaded in a couple of minutes.
Alright, so what did we get? My score was 97, so it was actually better than I've had before. So I'm going to just take a quick peek. We'll bring this flight report over while we're waiting. Alright, so I didn't arm spoilers. So that takes 2 points away. Is that it? Oh no, and then I didn't turn the taxi light off once we got here. So I got flaps up, spoilers down, beacon is on, navigation, landing light, all that's, it says it's off. I didn't turn it off. Right. So, gotta remember the spoilers, and then
resuming own navigation, Mooney 10, Bravo, Mike.
And so turn off the taxi light. So I hadn't done that. And then, okay. But it did think, I had the beacon. So just bringing that back. So yeah, beacon light was on when we taxied out. So pretty good though. And okay, under 200 knots. So we didn't like come in. We didn't come down at over 15 degrees. That would be a bit crazy. And then landing rate, again, I don't know what their thresholds are. That was pretty nice, though. I mean, I certainly can't say that that was a bad landing by any stretch. Whoops.
Roger!
I didn't realize I had that going on. All right. Why are the doors closed? Offload the passengers already. Oh, this drives me nuts because it won't let me... There, you are managing doors. So we'll do that. And then hopefully they'll
Cabin crew, the aircraft is secure, doors are opening. You are clear to begin deboarding.
Alright. And I should...
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you don't forget any items on this plane. If you need any help, our staff will be punctual to give you any assistance. We wish you a pleasant onward journey.
Alright, thanks for flying with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed your flight today, and I'd like to wish you a safe onward journey. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for flying with us.
Alright, so we just need to unload the passengers, and then I'll get my score. We got one left on board. They must be chatting with the cabin crew or something. Alright, they're all offloaded. Alright, and we got an A+.
Hello.
Hi, Captain.
Alright.
Thanks.
Give me a call if you need anything else.
Don't know why it's having difficulty. Alright, let's see. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Come on, I pressed the button.
As a reminder, if you're using software to track your virtual airline flight, you might want to finalize your flight now if you haven't already done so.
Roger.
Alright, so I think we're good. Alright, so there's our flight report. A+, 1674 out of 1705. That might honestly be one of my best flights. So very little on the G-forces.
Flight level 240, Delta 1562.
Everything else decent. Alright, we didn't do... I guess it thought we were sitting, and I didn't give them an announcement that we were sitting, so we lost 10 points there. But that's literally it. Wow. That is by far the cleanest flight I've had. So, so yeah, so obviously at certain points, probably climbing. So vertical speed was slightly above limits during part of the flight. I'm sure I exceeded the angle when I take off. I might have been a little too aggressive. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're here. And we've got 7 more flights in our contract, and then we'll see what the world looks like here. But, you know, we basically go out and back, out and back. It's kind of how it works. So next flight we'll be back here from Fort McKay, and we'll be heading back to Edmonton. Hope you come along for that whenever I get that out for you guys. If you've enjoyed this but haven't dropped a like or are not a subscriber, please consider those things. It's greatly appreciated. And I will see you next time.